Well, starting your own business takes a lot of planning, but how do businesses really make it? We're going to learn a few tips to become a big success.
B-I-G-G?
Big, yeah.
We'll be right back.
Entrepreneurship is on the rise. More and more people are taking the leap of faith and becoming their own boss. Here with a closer look at starting your own business, George Kruger and Mary Lynn Foster of Biz Success. Nice to see you.
Hi, Alex. Thank you for having us.
Great to be here.
Oh, it's wonderful. I'm glad you could be here. People are really attracted to this trend of entrepreneurship. What do you think is the big attraction?
Well, I think a lot of it, Alex, is just we've dealt with so much uncertainty lately, and just that uncertainty, and the idea that maybe I can't go off to a company and work for my entire life has really changed. I think the dynamics of the workforce, and people are responding accordingly.
Yeah, it gives them a little bit more of a control over their life.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, it's all about feeling empowered and not feeling out of control. And entrepreneurs know how to take uncertainty and roll with it.
So how does Big Success help people do that?
Well, what we do is we actually help people live life on their own terms, is what Big Success is all about. And
I love that.
Well, it's completely non-judgmental, right?
Yes.
Whatever you decide is what you should do. And for some people, that does mean working in the corporate world. But what we encourage them to do is think like an entrepreneur, so that they can basically make the most of their careers and their lives.
I just love that. As fast as things are changing in our world, how do we know if we're suited to be entrepreneurs?
Well, I think the bottom line is that you can be an entrepreneur in the traditional sense, or just an entrepreneur of your life. So it doesn't mean that you don't have to dive in and own a business. Entrepreneurship is also just creating that life that you want and making the sacrifices and doing the things that you have to do to get there.
Well, you had sent me a test. People, it's a true false. Why don't we go through those questions, and then let's see. This is a test that everybody at home should take if they're considering being an entrepreneur. So let's take a look. First, is change exciting?
What do you think? Actually, it's true.
I love that. It's because everybody likes change. They like a new baby.
Yeah,
it's so funny you say that, because you're very entrepreneurial in what you do, but a lot of people don't like change. It goes against human nature. We want consistency.
Yeah, we hate change, and that's one of the key things that entrepreneurs do understand, is that change is where all the opportunity lies. So they think change is exciting, while a lot of people think change is just downright scary.
How about risk? Do entrepreneurs love risk? Some people think they're risk junkies, right?
True or false? What do you think?
I maybe managed risk. I'm not sure.
See that? There you go. Yeah, because entrepreneurs don't love risk. That is false. I know a lot of people think that's the case, because especially if you want to start a business, my gosh, you could fail, and that's risky.
Yeah.
Well, and you got it exactly right, Alex. Entrepreneurs are actually excellent risk managers. They're able to share risk or shift risk somehow, some way. They find a way to get that risk outside of themselves, and then they can move forward without fear.
Yes.
The question we always say is, what can I try with no fear of loss?
Right, right. So to feel empowered, think like an entrepreneur and minimize the downside. That's the key.
What about money? People think that entrepreneurs just care about money. True or false?
That is false.
Okay.
Now, obviously, if you want to run a business, you have to make a profit, or you can't keep doing what you want to do. But
yeah, so a profit's necessary, but what entrepreneurs start with, the key thing to start with is, what's a problem I can solve? And the problems are all around us, as we know. You may look to your friends. What are they complaining about? What do they need? You may even look in your own life. What's something that you aren't able to find?
Well, sometimes people don't even know it's a problem. Like, I was reading an article about this guy who loved jellyfish, and you can't put a jellyfish in an aquarium because the pump sucks them in and kills them. And he invented this whole new system where you could have jellyfish. It was a problem that he solved, and he did a Kickstarter thing hoping to raise $3,000. He ended up raising $130, and he had 300 pre-orders.
Wow, that's amazing.
So
another great little story. Rachel Cohen of Signing Times sometimes that problem that you solve is really just a cause. It starts out as a cause, and her daughter's deaf, and the problem was that nobody could communicate with her daughter. Other kids wouldn't, because they didn't know how. And so she decided that she would come up with fun ways to help her community learn how to communicate with her daughter. And it ended up becoming a multi-million-dollar company. Wow. But that wasn't the goal to begin with. Right. It was just solving a problem for her daughter. Wow. Yeah.
And that's what you often see.
Yeah.
A lot of times our purpose finds us.
It's really a passion, I think, for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
So do you have to have a goal if you want to get started?
True or false on that one? That is false. Hey, awesome. I don't have to continue on with my New Year's resolutions, right? Woohoo, I'm out.
I think this is one of those myths that we've heard time and time again. But here's the thing. In a fast-changing world, we may try to predict the future, but entrepreneurs know you can't. What we can do is we can control our activities. So if we can find a way to just get started,
yes,
and then test and then adapt, we can actually create a great business. Because the reality is a lot of the great companies we know ended up in a different business than the one they started.
Yeah, so to feel empowered, think like an entrepreneur, just start. And starting can be something as simple as getting a book to read more on something that you're interested in. And actually, we've got a free download. It's called Decide What to Do Next. And we've got that at bigsuccess.com/CiLiving.
Fantastic. I'm so glad you shared that. So I was going to ask you, how do people connect with you? Well, George and Mary Lynn, Big Success. Thank you so much. Big success to you, and thank you for everything you're doing for entrepreneurs.
Thank you, Alex.